Conquest, war, famine, death. You know the names, right? They're this symbol so powerful they've literally galloped from ancient prophecy straight into our modern culture. Movies, music, art, you name it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the four horsemen of the apocalypse and really get into the story behind the legend. So you've definitely heard the names, and you've probably seen some of the terrifying imagery, but where did this whole world-ending idea actually come from? Well, this isn't just some cool concept for a video game. It's a really dramatic vision laid out in the final and frankly very mysterious book of the Christian Bible, the Book of Revelation.
So the whole thing kicks off in this heavenly scene, with a scroll that's sealed shut with 7 seals of judgment. The only one who's actually worthy to open it is a figure they call the Lamb, which is a symbol of Christ. Now these horsemen, they aren't just some random posse of doom. They're unleashed one by one, as the first 4 of these seals are broken. So you can think of it like a divine, absolutely terrifying countdown to catastrophe.
Okay, so the first seal is broken. A voice like thunder booms out, "Come!" And from the chaos, the very first horseman rides forth.
You know, the imagery here is just incredibly potent. A white horse, that's a classic symbol of victory. A bow, a weapon of distant, almost unseen power. And a crown, an undeniable sign of authority. So this isn't just some random warrior, this is a king. And he's riding out with one single, all-consuming purpose, to conquer.
So who is this conqueror? Well, the source points to a really common interpretation, that this is the Antichrist. He's this powerful, charismatic leader who appears righteous. I mean, he even rides a white horse, just like Christ does later in the book. But, you know, it's all a very clever deception. His real purpose is just total domination.
All right, so the conqueror is on the move. But conquest, well, it's never a peaceful affair, is it? As the Lamb breaks that second seal, the chaos just begins to escalate dramatically.
And this one, wow, it is brutally direct. The horse is fiery red, literally the color of blood, and its rider's mission is spelled out: to take peace from the earth. Not just to win battles between nations, but to ignite civil war, to make neighbors turn on each other. And that large sword, yeah, it's not just for show. It's a symbol of the sheer terrifying scale of this global conflict. And that is the absolute key takeaway here. This isn't just one army fighting another. We're talking about the complete breakdown of peace itself. It's civil war and anarchy on a global scale, and it follows directly in the footsteps of that first conqueror.
So the third seal is broken. Conquest has led to war. And as history has taught us time and time again, widespread war always brings the same devastating consequence.
A black horse emerges, the color of mourning and dread. But look closely at what this rider carries. It's not a sword, it's a pair of scales, an instrument of commerce. And then comes the chilling decree. A single quart of wheat will cost a denarius, which back then was a full day's wage for a laborer.
Yeah, just let that sink in for a moment. Can you even imagine everything you earn in a full day of work just buying enough food for one person, for one meal? It is a devastating picture of hyperinflation and scarcity. This isn't just about being hungry, it's about total economic collapse on a deeply personal level.
But here's where the injustice of it all becomes crystal clear. A voice commands, "Do not damage the oil and the wine." The source highlights this really disturbing detail. While staple foods like bread become basically impossible for ordinary people to afford, the luxuries of the rich are protected. It's a famine that seems designed to crush the poor.
Conquest, war, famine, and now the fourth seal is opened. This time, the rider who emerges, well, he needs no introduction. His name is stated outright.
This is it, the grim climax of the quartet. A pale horse, and its rider is literally named Death. And he's not alone. Hades, the underworld itself, the realm of the dead, is following close behind just to swallow up his victims. There's no complex metaphor to decode here. This is literally death on horseback.
And you know that word pale is fascinating. In the original Greek, the word is chloros. It's where we get the word chlorophyll. But it doesn't mean a healthy green. It means a pale, sickly, greenish yellow, the absolutely ghastly color of a corpse. The horse itself is the color of disease and decay.
And the scale of the swordsman's authority is it's staggering. He and Hades are given power over a full 1/4 of the entire planet. A quarter of humanity is handed over to their deadly mission. And notice how he accomplishes this. He uses the tools of the previous horsemen.
the sword from war and the scarcity from famine. But then he adds his own horrors. Plague, which is symbolized by his horse's sickly color, and even attacks by wild animals. He is the terrifying culmination of everything that came before.
So there they are, the white horse of conquest, the red horse of war, the black horse of famine, and the pale horse of death, killing a quarter of the world with all those horrors combined. A complete picture of the apocalypse. Or is it?
A conqueror, global war, mass starvation, and a plague that wipes out a quarter of the planet. I mean, it sounds like the absolute end, right? But here is the single most shocking revelation of all.
After all that devastation, what could possibly be left? Is this the final act? Is the story over?
The answer is a terrifying and resounding no. For all their power, for all the horror they represent in our culture, the Four Horsemen are not the main event. They are just the opening act.
And that, right there, is the most terrifying takeaway of all. The source concludes that these four figures, the very symbols of the apocalypse, are just a warm-up. They are simply precursors to judgments that are yet to come. Which leaves us with a truly unsettling question. If this is just the beginning, what could possibly be worse?